A recent restructure has left Marion in a department with 2 vacancies, a heavy workload and tight deadlines. She is frequently feeling stressed out. Reena, her manager, is relatively new in post and is seeing her for her appraisal. Marion hopes to discuss her workload and stress levels.
Marion, are you free now? I know we said 4 o'clock, but no time like the present.
No problem. I'll just get my data
pop in when
ready.
you're ready.
Marion has had to ask colleagues in other departments how to access the data Reena has requested. She doesn't know the purpose of some of it and is nervous that she'll be judged on the data which she doesn't fully understand.
Come in, this won't take long. So I've already populated most of the KPIs we need to go through, if we can just see how you're doing against those. Let's take a look at what you've got.
I'm sorry to sound so stupid, but I really don't know what I'm looking at or how these targets were decided and set.
I'm stunned, Marion. You behave as though you've not done this before.
I haven't. Before the restructure, there was a supervisor and she would pull everything together. And I really don't know what I'm doing.
You've been with the company a long time. You must have had some input into targets.
Yes, I suppose so. The supervisor, Sally, would ask us for bits and pieces, and then she would compile the reports and cascade back to us what we needed to know. Well, I guess what we needed to do.
Yeah, I get it. Well, clearly that needs looking at. Now, what about your training needs? What training have you done in the last 6 months?
I've completed all mandatory training. I did put in 3 requests for additional training.
Yeah, I saw that in your appraisal. How did you get on?
I didn't hear back, so I'm guessing it wasn't approved. I admit I didn't chase it, but that's just because I'm so busy all the time.
Well, if there's anything else comes up, then we will consider it. But, budget's virtually gone now. So, it's just about you filling in your sections, your CPDs, aspirations for the future, etc. I'll email the document so you can do that in your own time. But make sure it's signed and sent back to me by close of play on Friday. Right?
Is that it?
Well, we've covered your performance. What else were you expecting?
It's just that my appraisals used to be about, me. Not just about the business needs.
Our business is about students, not staff. Okay?
Okay.
Let's find out how Marion is feeling about that appraisal.
I guess my idea of an appraisal based on previous experience is that it's usually, like I said, about me. How I think it's going, what I need to do the job properly, talking about problems or issues I'm having, and then getting the support and training to meet my needs. We didn't even talk about whether I think my job description is accurate, which I don't anymore, not since the restructure when I'm doing so much more. But I certainly don't feel that I could speak to Reena about this now. She's made me feel incompetent. Like I should be able to do this, but I can't. And it's having an effect on my well-being. I checked the emails she sent over. She's even filled out some of my aspirations for the future. I don't really know where to turn now. I guess maybe it is time for me to look around for something else.
The conversation with Reena has left Marion feeling incompetent. An overwhelming workload, lack of information and tight deadlines has led to anxiety and stress, which will result in poorer performance. No wonder she wants to leave her job.
Hi, Marion. I know I'm seeing you at 4 o'clock. I just wanted to check you managed to pull all your data.
Yes, I think so. And actually, is there any chance we could bring that forward? I've just had another meeting put in my diary and I really need to prepare for that.
Yes, I know you're doing an awful lot at the moment. I have an important call to take, but I could be free in half an hour if that suits.
Perfect. See you then.
Marion, before we start, I just want to say how grateful I am, and the rest of the team, at how you've stepped up at such a difficult time. We all know you're carrying a very heavy workload while we sort out the budget for these 2 vacancies, and it's really appreciated.
Well, I don't mind saying it has been very difficult and stressful. I will be glad when we are fully staffed.
Yes.
Do you know what the worst thing is? I feel like I'm never on top of everything. Like I can't finish anything. I can't work to the standards that I want to, and I find that really difficult. I'm waking up in the night thinking about work.
Well, that concerns me. The last thing I want is anyone from my team going home and thinking about work. This might be helpful to know. I have a meeting early next week with my director to look at workload and resources for this team.
Right.
My priority is to put in support for you, and I was expecting to have that in place within the next month. But clearly, from what you're saying, I need to bring that forward.
Oh, that is such a relief to hear you say that. I've been feeling incompetent, like I should be able to cope with this, but I can't.
Well, that's certainly not the case. I've spent a lot of time preparing for this meeting, looking at KPIs, looking at your strengths. And there's lots to talk about, but we can come to that later. This is your meeting, your time. Tell me where you'd like to start this discussion.
Now that you've reassured me that support will be in place soon and that the recruitment process is underway.
In this conversation, Reena's approach will help activate the reward state and support Marion's cognitive ability and job performance.